Well, it's here. Expanded and enhanced GTA 5 and GTA Online are finally out, and everyone has the same question on their minds. Is it worth the money, and is there anything different? Well, today I'm going to be covering every single change that Rockstar has made in these new versions of GTA. All of these changes will be exclusive, at least for the time being, on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. We're not sure if an update is going to be coming to PC at some stage, and we know for sure that these updates will not be coming to PS4 and Xbox One. So, what are these new changes? Well, let's jump in. If you enjoy this video, a thumbs up would be awesome, and subscribe for more stuff like this. First up, let's just get the obvious out of the way. It's something that people have been clowning in the first day or two on the internet: the updated and enhanced graphics. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to come across on YouTube, because YouTube does compress the video, but once you actually do jump in for yourself, you're going to be able to see that everything does look a bit clearer. It's obvious that it's in a higher resolution, and everything is going to look a bit more crisp. On top of that, once you sort of get out into the Blaine County area a bit more, even something like Cayo, Perico, where there's a lot of trees, vegetation, bushes, that sort of stuff, you're going to be able to tell that the saturation has probably been turned up on these. They're a little bit brighter, they're a little bit of a different color, and again, not sure how well this is going to come across on a YouTube video, but you can tell that the textures are more detailed as well. Graphics-wise, I know a lot of people were expecting something we haven't seen before, but basically this is pretty much like playing on high or ultra settings on PC. There's 3 graphics options to choose from. Fidelity, which is going to run in native 4K with a frame rate of about 30 frames per second. And then you've got Performance and Performance RT, which are both going to run in an upscaled 4K with a bit of a better FPS, somewhere around 60 frames per second for those ones. And the difference between the two is Performance RT is going to have ray tracing. So you'll probably notice a little bit of a difference on lighting, shadows, reflections, that sort of stuff. We kind of expected all of this stuff. What's actually new in the game apart from just graphics? Okay, well, here's the new features. First thing you're going to notice that's different is actually the entire menu screen. GTA 5 and GTA Online have been completely separated into 2 different tabs on the startup screen. Now when you hover over Online, instead of just sort of loading you into free mode like it normally does, you've got a whole bunch of options to choose from. So you can jump straight into heists, you can jump straight into Rockstar created jobs, you can even see what's new, which is pretty important, especially considering Rockstar isn't too great at communicating. And then we've got 3 main tabs in the front of the screen here, which right now says Unlock How's Special Works, which we'll get into in a second. The next one says New Vehicles, and then the other one says The Contract. I'm assuming that these 3 tabs are gonna rotate each time there's a new DLC released. Of course, The Contract is the latest DLC, and New Vehicles and How Special Works were just added into the game. So good chance this sort of thing is gonna rotate on a monthly, weekly, or just DLC basis. Either way, this is a much cleaner interface that I think GTA has needed for a long time, and this, along with a bunch of the upgrades we're gonna go over shortly, I don't know why Rockstar hasn't put these on old-gen consoles. I genuinely have no clue. To me, it seems like Rockstar sort of added this as an extra selling point for the next-gen versions when they could have just done this to the old ones. I don't know why they haven't. Seems kind of sketchy if you ask me. Also new with the next-gen versions are 5 new vehicles. Well, I wish I could say that was true. That's what we were told by Rockstar, but in reality, these are pretty much reskinned versions of existing vehicles already. So these next-gen exclusive vehicles are the Astron Custom. We already have the base Astron in the game. We've got the Coil Cyclone 2, and we've already got a Coil Cyclone in the game. We've got a weaponized Ignis. You guessed it, we already have an Ignis in the game. And then in Southern San Andreas, we have an S95 and an Arbiter GT. Overall, this seems, again, a little bit sketchy to me, seeing as 3 of these vehicles are just reskin versions of existing ones. And in the case of the Astron Custom and the Ignis, we actually just got the base versions of those vehicles a few months ago with the Contract DLC, so to already get updated versions of these just makes it feel like I wasted money a few months ago. The upside of these vehicles, though, is you can customize them at a brand new auto shop called How's Special Works. Well, again, it's not exactly a new auto shop. It's the existing LS Car Meet auto shop, just with a different name. So if you take any of these 5 new vehicles into the LS car meet and customize them, you can upgrade them with How's Special Works performance upgrades. Basically, any mod that you could previously mod your vehicles with that would increase speed, performance, braking, pretty much anything like that, you can do that, but it's basically just better, and it says HSW on it. In fact, these vehicles can accelerate so fast that Rockstar put a second bar under the acceleration. Yeah, these are some of the quickest cars in the game. Just like pretty much every other upgrade we've mentioned so far, apart from the graphics, this is one that I don't know why it wasn't added to the old gen consoles. Kinda sucks for those guys that don't have next gen. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't seem like this is a technical limitation. I feel like the PS4 and Xbox One should be able to handle this. Strangely enough, this new weaponized Ignis that we just mentioned is a Warstock vehicle, and a nice thing about that is it comes with a built-in missile lock-on jammer, just like all of the Amani Tech vehicles added in the contract, so that's pretty neat. Along with the How's Special Works Auto Shop, we've also got some new liveries, as well as a bunch of new paint jobs, including an entire new type of paint called Chameleon. These are some of the coolest paint jobs in all of GTA Online. The paint color of your car is actually going to be different depending on which angle you're looking at it from, which in my opinion makes this the coolest type of paint job, even above something like Pearlescent, which we've had since launch. You're probably wondering if you can race these vehicles with these performance upgrades, and the answer is yes, but not in the existing races. They've got their very own racing category now, and these are called How's Special Works races. So just like open wheel vehicles are put in their own category and have open wheel races, these ones do as well. For you guys that like time trials, we've got a brand new type of time trial as well, How's Time Trial. I'm assuming this is going to rotate weekly, just like the normal RC and normal time trials do. Those time trials normally pay out $100,000 each if you do it successfully, but the How time trials pay out $250,000 each, which is a nice little way to make money each week. A really great quality of life update that we got with these next gen versions is the fact that you can now switch to an invite only or a solo session without having to go back to story mode. Out of all of the updates we got in this next gen version, this is the one. This is the one where I'm most confused as to why they didn't just add this to the old gen versions of the game. This seems like such an easy thing to do, and players would appreciate it a lot. This shouldn't be locked behind a next gen paywall. In the LS car meet, if you leave your vehicle in there now and another player walks up to it, they can actually duplicate your car and buy it on the spot. If they do that, you're actually going to get a commission on that. So maybe that's a way to make money if you want to leave your car in there. I don't really see that ever happening, but I guess that could be a way to make money if you've got a friend that wants to copy your car. New players rejoice. There's a new feature in the next gen versions of the game called the Career Builder. This is going to start you off with $4 million, and it's going to let you choose a business, vehicles, and some weapons to get you started. This is a huge change that was definitely needed for years and years, but I'm glad it's finally here. You're going to be able to choose between a bunker, a CEO office and a warehouse, a nightclub, or an MC clubhouse and a biker business to get you started into GTA Online. Like I said, Rockstar is going to give you $4 million to spend. You have to spend at least $3 million of that, and you can keep a maximum of $1 million. You can only do this once per account, so choose wisely. And then the final change that we should note is the upgrades to the fire and smoke animations in the game. I tested this out at night so we could sort of see the fire better, and it definitely is a new animation for pretty much anything fire related. And as you can see, after the car blows up here, the smoke animation is actually pretty different. It looks a lot more dense and it's a lot easier to see, which I guess is a pretty nice change as well. So to wrap up, do I think that these changes are worth your time and money? Well, the answer I kind of have to give is you should just play where your friends are, man. Like, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the graphics upgrades are nice, the frame rate feels a bit smoother, the quality of life changes are pretty helpful, but at the end of the day, like, these aren't the biggest changes in the world. Just play where your friends are. If you're a solo player that has a next-gen console, I mean, sure, if you're on PlayStation, upgrade it for free. I'd say that's a pretty good option. If you're on Xbox, though, you just have to decide if you think this is worth a $10 or $20 upgrade. Like I said, these changes will make the game feel a little bit better, but at the end of the day, it's still GTA Online and GTA 5. So I hope that video helped you out. If you enjoyed it, a thumbs up would be awesome. Subscribe for more stuff like this. Hope you stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Boys.
Favorite color, money green. Paper. I've been on my grind since I was in the 7th grade. Had my first kid, I was only 17. Always a provider for my pack like Wolverines. But you won't find me on the